How's it going? My name's Danny with By the Yard Materials. We get a lot of phone calls, people asking about retaining walls. They want to backfill the retaining wall. Today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the proper way to backfill a retaining wall. Whether it's a retaining wall like this that's made by brick mason, or it's a brick or paver type retaining wall. It's critical that when you build your retaining wall, you allow the water to be able to pass through the retaining wall. A common mistake is that somebody will build a retaining wall like this and they'll backfill it with dirt. The thing and the error in that is that over time, the dirt, as it begins to get wet, causes an additional force to be placed on the retaining wall, which causes the retaining wall to lean forward or to fail. And you'll see this all the time. Perhaps you've seen it before, where retaining walls start to lean forward. What needs to be done, and what we want to go over today, is the proper way to allow the water to be able to drain out of a retaining wall. When this retaining wall was built, the brick mason installed weep holes about every 6 to 8 feet. And what we want to do is we want to be able to install a drain system that allows the water to be able to pass through the dirt and then find these weep holes so that it can drain out of the retaining wall. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to install a 4-inch perforated pipe. And this 4-inch perforated pipe will be installed at the base of the retaining wall. It'll be wrapped in a filter fabric and be surrounded by 1-inch limestone rock. You can use a 1-inch limestone rock or a 1-inch river rock, but you just want to get something that's clean and washed. So we're going to walk through these steps and see what's needed so that you can set up and install a retaining wall the correct way. So let's take a look at what we've got to do. So the first thing we want to do is we want to clear out the base of the retaining wall. We want to make sure it's free of any kind of dirt or debris, and we want to locate each one of the weep holes, make sure all the dirt's cleared back, and that the path along the base of the retaining wall is relatively level. So we're going to kind of clear it out a little bit going along. So you can see we've located each of our weep holes along the base of this retaining wall. We've set it up to where each weep hole is clear, it's free of any kind of debris, and the ground is for the most part, it's level, follows the contour of the base of the retaining wall. So that as the water travels down to this drain system we're going to put in, it'll be able to find each one of these weep holes and drain out from the retaining wall. So we've got our filter fabric down. We've got it kind of held up just on the wall right here, and we've got our perforated pipe in place. If you look closely at this pipe, it's got some slits all through it, meaning perforated. It allows the water to be able to pass through into this pipe, and then it'll find the path of least resistance at each one of the weep holes and pass through. Now we're getting ready to put our 1-inch limestone on top of this, and then we'll wrap this fabric around it to keep the dirt from getting into the holes and into the rock and clogging it all up. So let's get started on that. All right, so we've got our drain line in place, our filter fabric in place, and we're starting to place our 1-inch limestone rock. I've got it in buckets, and we're simply just taking these buckets, pouring it out on top of the drain line, and we're making this about a foot wide and about 6 to 8 inches deep. And then once we're getting it in there, we'll take and we'll smooth it out. Then we'll take and we'll place down the top piece of fabric first, and then the secondary piece of fabric, the back side, place it on top. And then once it's all done, we'll take and we'll backfill with some of this existing dirt, and we'll bring in some additional dirt as well. And what this is going to do over time is as the water begins to penetrate in this dirt, instead of the dirt just holding all the water and beginning to put an excessive force on the wall, it'll eventually work its way down through the filter fabric, through the 1-inch limestone rock, into the drain line, and out the weep holes. And what this is going to do, again, is it'll keep the excessive force off this wall so it won't begin to push forward or fail in the future. Now, I've got a lot of work in front of me, but it's going to be worth it, and I'll have a retaining wall that's going to last my lifetime. We hope this video was helpful for you. We've got all the materials that you need to be able to do this project up at the yard. We carry the filter fabric, the 1-inch limestone rock, 1-inch river rock. We've also got some helpful tips to be able to help you out as well. So swing by, stop in, and see us at By the Yard Materials. Thanks.